hard work. So it's in the interest of everybody to try and stick together and do things like protest outside the vaccine centres, protest to make sure schools stay closed. There's no reason to keep them open, or if kids have to go to these schools, they should be given face masks and other sensible measures to protect them in school from these viruses. So I believe that we should all be looking out for each other, because ultimately we're looking out for our own interests when we stop this pandemic from being ignited and gathering speed. However, if all you're willing to do is take the colloidal silver and the face mask, fine, as long as you're willing then, when the order comes for you to take it or to go to quarantine, to resist at that point, or be faced with being imprisoned or whatever. At that point, I would suggest it's getting a little bit late.
How much support are you getting personally? How do you feel? Because you're like a lonely soldier here fighting this in Austria, sort of unconnected, at least physically, with the rest of the world. What is it that sustains you and keeps you going and gives you the strength to keep on fighting? Because it's not easy, is it?
Well, I have to say, I look at the evidence and I see that there is a real threat also to me. I mean, I am also going to be one of the people who could be infected by this pandemic virus, or could be forced to take this vaccination and stand to criminal if I don't take it. And this is not a very palatable kind of prospect, and it's not exactly how I, want to spend my time, ill or sick or prematurely dead from something like this. So I'm motivated also by self-interest, as well as the desire to see other people, of course, freed from this threat. But
do
also,
you have a team who are working with you? Do you feel supported logistically, emotionally, financially, or is it just really that you're just standing alone here in Vienna?
Oh no, I mean, I have Johan Niklasen in Switzerland has volunteered to put up my website.
I met him the other day. He's a wonderful man.
Yes, and he's done great work and put up a wonderful website, and and a lot of people support and send emails and reports and information that I put up on my website and so on. Here in Austria, there's somebody who has an email database of 140,000 emails who's starting to send out information, so even the Austrians are getting to hear of what's happening. So I certainly feel not alone. However, there's no doubt about it that I, for example, have very little financial resources or whatever, and I, more or less have to try and scrape by, and this limits how effective I can be. I can't cover countries or outside of Europe, or try and launch the kind of legal action that I would have wished to launch, the injunctions in places like Africa or Latin America. No substantial funding has come from any source whatsoever to help in this battle. So it's been individuals sending relatively small sums of money, or offering to do things like DVD or whatever, that has nevertheless been very, very important.
And you're personally contactable. If there's anyone watching this now who's able to offer material support in a position to do that, they can reach you through your website, right?
Yeah, so they can just find my email address. I am certainly very visible, I think, for anybody who wants to actually, contact me. But so far there has been no foundation or wealthy person or anything like that who has offered support. And I'm not even saying they need to offer me personal support, but there's been no major support for any injunctions or any kind of these legal actions or for the movement as a whole. It really is a grassroots movement, and that's a heartening thing to see, that it has become very strong in spite of the fact there has been very little support.
Well, your work is an inspiration to many others, may I say. I think this really is a David and Goliath example that you've given a lot of people here. Are you hopeful? Are you optimistic? Or are you depressed about the whole thing, thinking, my God, we're all about to be wiped out here? Or do you think that it's just just something which is going to work out well, but we've got to do a lot of work between now and then?
Well, my heart tells me, without any doubt, this is going to work out well for humanity. My mind looks at the evidence and I get worried. And, unfortunately, I think we all have to play our role. It will depend on every single person now. The structures in government have failed us. They are against us. They're actually turning against us to try and destroy us. And it really is up to every single individual now to stand up, say no, and organise to remove these structures once and for all and open the way for us, every single person, to have a new future of dignity, of freedom, where we can enjoy lives free of stress, free of worry, as we were meant to enjoy our lives, and open the way for the next generation to have a proper, healthy opportunities, sensible working conditions, good education systems, and for humanity to begin a new era free of these monstrous plots against us.
Jane Burgermeister, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Okay, well done. Yeah, that was as good as I could have ever hoped it to be. I felt that. How did you feel?
Yeah, I also felt it went very well. So it all seemed to have been okay.
Oh yeah, it's a rousing speech. Everything's fine. The battery worked. You can... I can't show you what you look like.
I hope I look okay.
You look actually really quite fine. I have a second opinion here. Will you confirm, as a disinterested observer?
Well, because I don't often look so good on camera.
It looks nice to me.
No, very nice thing.
No, I can't bear to look.
No,
but at the end of the day,
good.
vanity cannot play a role. Unfortunately, the YouTube video has to go on looking as I look, Bill. That's the fact.
And I know that problem.
But how you speak is heart-touching.
Yes, but I look bad. Do I have dark lines
No,
under
you
my
don't.
All,
Actually, you
not it all.
don't. Actually, you don't. You look really beautiful.
No, usually it works okay
Very beautiful.
if I look better on video than I do usually on.
No.
But I can't concern myself with that, to be honest. I have to accept that whatever way I look,
Only woman can say how another woman looks beautiful.
Well, I'm not
I'll
going
just
to
leave
look
the
at the
room.
video.
One will always say.
To be honest, I don't look at the video, and I realise I have to try and look okay. I hope you're not still filming all of this, Bill.
Just in case there are any outtakes. But sometimes I just get a freeze frame or a little quote.
Okay.
But don't worry, we're not going to do anything against
at
it.
the same time, I'm aware that I have to try and present a good image. I do my best, and if it looks terrible, there's nothing I can do,
Yeah. Well, the way that it's worked for us is because we're so obviously human. People actually trust us. We had this wonderful joke, which was actually a serious email that we got from somebody about a year ago, who said, "I used to think that you were working for the CIA, but your videos are so unprofessional that now I know that you can't possibly be. Otherwise, they'd be a lot better quality. They'd buy you more clothes, they'd buy you a different T-shirt. So there's something
That's probably
that helps about looking like an ordinary citizen, as opposed to some kind of a star putting on a polished performance with your auto cue here and all this kind of stuff. Forget it. We're people, and that's the message.